What's going on, guys? Happy Wednesday. Hopefully you guys are having some good weather here. I know the East Coast is probably still slammed with some bad weather, but hope you guys are staying safe if you're on the East Coast, and hope you're enjoying this weather if you're on the West Coast. I want to talk, really it's more I want to vent. I'm coming off some pretty bad trading days, days that I am not very happy about, today included. So yesterday I did some pretty major damage to one of my live accounts. I Everything was going good. So let me rewind it. So I've been trading this one account really well, very consistently, according to my plan, according to my rules, taking two micro position trades, MES, and scaling that, trailing it out, like getting out level to level, scaling my stop, and just doing that over and over. And I was able to build a decent amount of cushion on this account. I was able to grow the account to like a high water mark of about almost $1,000. So let's like about $700-800 high water mark. And then I kind of stagnated. My account was sitting at a certain balance, and I don't want to bring up numbers just because I'm trying to separate myself from numbers, for my own benefit. I was sitting at a certain account balance. It was definitely in the green. It was in profit, but I'd been sitting at this balance for a few days, and I've been thinking to myself how I'm still kind of stuck at this balance, and that I want to continue to go up. I want to grow this account. And so with each trade that I would take, I would have losses. And then with every other trade that I would take, there'd be wins. I was in a state where I was losing and then just making it back. So essentially I was breaking even for a solid 2 days. And that kind of frustrated me because I wanted to grow. I wanted to grow the accounts. I wanted to, build my equity slowly. And then I got to a point where I started to size up. My thought of wanting to grow, my desire for wanting to grow my account convinced me to size up. It wasn't anything drastic relative to what I used to do. I used to trade with like 10 micros. Now I trade with 2 micros. On this particular day, which was yesterday and the day before, I sized up 2 additional micros, so a total of 4 contract position size. Now, anybody watching this be like, that's not super crazy. You were on 2 contract position size, going to 4. It's not crazy, but it is crazy because that's essentially doubling my position size. And so I had some good trades and I had a lot of bad trades. And like you guys know on the previous videos, I have risk limits on my Tradevate account. Well, I hate saying this, but I'm going to admit it because I need to be transparent with myself. Well, I want to be transparent with you all, but most importantly, I want to be transparent with myself. I have not been respecting my risk limits. I have not. Every single time I've hit my risk, my daily loss, I would just add more to give me some more room to trade. And I'd go back in, and then I'd hit that higher risk limit and do the same thing. There are even times where I set it to lock my account if I hit that risk limit. And there are plenty of times where I hit the risk limit and my account was locked, right? Should be good. You can't go back in. Wrong. You can call Tradevate and they will unlock it for you. And I even tried to call them today and tell them, hey, if I call you guys to unlock my account, can you not unlock it? And of course they said, no, we can't do that. Legally, it's your account. So if you ask us to unlock it, we have to unlock it. So there's a loophole there. There's a flaw in my plan. And so this tied with having to rewire your brain of just taking 2 contract position size over and over for each trade. If you guys don't know, watch Dr. David Paul's lecture on trading responsibly with small size, and just doing the same thing over and over again to build your account. That's essentially the bread and butter of trading. The bread and butter of trading is like trade with small size. Once your setup presents, manage the trade, and then do that over and over again. And that's how you build your account. So I had been doing this, of course, but now because I've sized up and because I've disrespected my risk limits, I am essentially having to start off from zero. Sorry, this video is a little bit longer. So I'm having to start off from zero. So I'm having to rewire my brain. I am trading a eval at this point. It's actually a shared eval with one of my good friends that I trade with, hoping to give me a little bit of accountability to respect my risk and to realize like, hey, this is not only my account, this is also my buddy's account. We're sharing this eval. And so I'm starting from scratch, you know, I'm starting from scratch, and I am having to just go back and take 2 position size. If my risk limits hit, I can't undo them. And I want to be accountable. You know, I'm tired. Like, I'm getting to the point in my career where like I'm tired. Like, I know what to do. I know what I should be doing. And there have been moments where I've been able to do it and been able to stick with my rules and my plan very well. And there have been times, yeah, where I white knuckled discipline, but that can only get you so far. You have to wire yourself to do the right thing, you know? And my biggest problem too is over trading. You know, the big problem with sizing down and having like a stop loss that makes sense, or a tight, not necessarily a tight stop, but a stop that like is appropriate for your risk size that you want to risk, you're gonna get stopped out over and over again. You know, if you're taking a 2 contract MES and you're on like a, say for example, $2,000 account, you can't risk more than $20. You know, if you calculate the stop size, that's a 2-point stop. You're gonna get stopped out every single time, okay? And if you're doing that, of course you're gonna have the itch to go back in, because 9 times out of 10, it'll stop you out and it'll work in your favor, and because you didn't give it enough room. So because that happens, you keep getting back in because you know the trade's gonna work, you know it's a good setup, but because of volatility or whatever, you keep getting stopped out because you're so close. So, and even if you're down to 1 contract size, you know, if you're down to 1 contract size, you're still only at a 4-point stop. That's less likely of getting hit, but could still get hit again, especially with high volatility. So just gonna, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this, but anyway, that's kind of what I've been living for the past few days. Hope you guys are doing better. Have a good rest of your week. Peace.